What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the B.A.G Show, powered by Metro. I'm your host, Mike Hennessy, and I'm with my guy.
Greg from B.A.G Gaming.
That is
What
Greg
up,
from
guys?
B.A.G. Yes,
How's
sir.
everybody
Yes, sir.
doing?
Yeah, listen. It's been a week. We was off last week. Everybody took some time to themselves. Enjoyed
Man,
themselves. Hopefully, we had a
I
couple of
didn't.
recuperations. We had some recuperations.
Man, can I tell? I'm gonna just tell my story real quick.
Go ahead, tell your
So
story. I'm listening.
somehow I did not get the memo that we were not doing the show last week.
Oh man.
And when I tell you I had the craziest day, I'm talking about plumbers coming through, power outages, children acting crazy. It was nuts. And I'm over here like pulling out my hair. Not really, but pulling out my hair,
Something like
trying
that.
to get this Gran Turismo 7 video done.
Mhm.
And I'm talking about 5 minutes before we go on live. I'm like, y'all, I don't know what to do. I'm going crazy. And everybody's like in the chat, like, what are you going crazy about? I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not ready for the show. They're like, it ain't no show. And I'm like, oh, okay.
So,
yeah.
with that being said, we apologize to you, Greg at that Gaming, because he hustled hard. I'm looking at the messages and I'm like, he's going really hard this week. Like, he's setting up for some greatness. All right, I can't wait for next week. I can't wait for next week. Come to find out he was preparing for this last week. So it's like, I'm like, oh man, I felt so bad. I'm like, I'm sorry. I thought you seen it.
Man.
But with that being said, we all know how his week went. My week went pretty good. Everything was pretty solid on my side. I had a good week off, got to rejuvenate, come out with some more creativity, spend some time away with the lady, just do some things. So how is the family feeling? How's everybody? You can hear the kids. I know the wife is there somewhere,
Oh yeah. Everybody's feeling good, man. With the string of illness that's been going through here, it's kind of nice to know that everybody is more or less at 100% now, man. So it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
All right, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Now, in the midst of him getting prepared for the Gran Turismo, Greg, do we have anything for Gran Turismo right now? What do we have for
Yeah. So actually, and I'm really proud of this because I actually made the video review for Gran Turismo 7 today. It's been recorded, it has been edited, and everything. So without further ado, here's a comprehensive review on Gran Turismo 7. Producer guy, let it play.
Let it play.
Reporting to you live from the dead pad. I see a lot of streamers trash, get a glad bag. Anytime I'm loaded up, know they big mad. Can't you see we going live? I know you feel the vibe. Reporting to you live from the dead pad. I see a lot of streamers trash, get a glad bag. Anytime I'm loaded up, know they big mad. Can't you see we going live? I know you feel the vibe.
Hey guys, it's Greg from B.A.G Gaming coming at you again with another review, this time for Polyphony Digital's Gran Turismo 7 on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. This copy of Gran Turismo 7 has been provided by our friends over at Blurred Approved Gaming. With that being stated, we would definitely appreciate any likes, comments, and subscribes here on the Blurred Lines YouTube channel, but definitely swing by the Blurred Approved Gaming channel and check out a wonderful assortment of gaming content. So, what is Gran Turismo 7? Well, as it says in the title of the game, the real racing simulator. But is it true? Well, honestly, I don't know. Other than a few novice attempts to drift a vehicle in my younger years, I don't really have much experience with racing cars. What I can tell you is that Gran Turismo 7 feels great. A lot of what makes Gran Turismo 7 feel so great is the concessions that only the PS5 can provide at this time. More specifically, virtually no loading times and the power of the DualSense really take this title to the next level. It's no exaggeration when I tell you that the power of the DualSense controller allows you to feel the traction of the tires underneath the vehicle. Every imperfection in the concrete can be felt through the DualSense, and it feels amazing. And as you tweak your car, change the brakes, change the engines, change the tires, change the tracks, so on and so forth, you can feel the difference in how the cars handle, from the gameplay all the way into the trigger resistance in the DualSense controller. When I tell you that this controller is a game changer for this title, I cannot stress it enough. And honestly, at this point, it would be extremely difficult to imagine playing any other racing game without feedback from the haptics of the DualSense. The other concession here comes again from the SSD and virtually no loading times. I can remember the days of being interested in Gran Turismo through the PS1 and PS2 era, but being completely turned off by the concept of earning a license just to begin my process as a race car driver. And a lot of that had to do with load times. I remember trying a 15-second test multiple times, only to wait about 30 seconds in between each time for the test to load back up. For any PS5 owner interested in Gran Turismo 7, I'm here to tell you, those days are over. While the process of earning a license in order to get into particular races still exists here, the fact that you can fail and fail and fail again and you're right back in a snap makes these license tests feel a lot more like mini games designed to teach you how to play the game. So much so that even after passing a test, sometimes with a bronze or a silver medal, I was determined to continue to retry over and over and over again, looking for the very elusive gold medal for a lot of my tests. Now, let's leave the concessions of the PS5 behind and get to the bulk of it. What does Gran Turismo 7 do well? The obvious is this game is gorgeous. There's no other way to say it. Whether you're playing in performance mode, which gives you a 4K 60 frames per second, or if you're playing in the fidelity mode that gives you 4K 30 frames per second with ray tracing in particular modes, it's hard to complain about the presentation of this game. Sound design is great here, especially when using a 3D audio enabled headset. It truly creates an immersive experience, especially when you combine it with the haptics of the DualSense controller. But honestly, the best thing that Gran Turismo 7 does is make itself accessible to newcomers. My experience with this game is starting out with brake assist, steering assist, race lines on, every training wheel you could imagine. But in going through the process, getting the license, trying each of the test over and over, striving for gold, and racing and making mistakes, I eventually got comfortable enough to turn off all assist features, with the exception of brake indicators, which is a feature that doesn't necessarily brake for you, but it gives you suggestions on when you should start braking coming into a corner. It was extremely rewarding seeing myself cut off all the training wheels and entering into races and dominating as I got better and better and learned more and more about how to approach corners, when I should brake, when I should accelerate, and more. Another thing that Gran Turismo 7 does well is honestly setting the vibe, where the likes of Forza Horizon sets the vibe as, hey guys, racing is cool, we love fast cars. Gran Turismo feels very prestigious and shows you that cars and the appreciation of automobiles is a refined culture that should be respected as such. Car variety is also a positive here, but it does also lead into the things that Gran Turismo 7 does not do the best job at. Let's get into it. While Gran Turismo 7 can be generous with giving you cars left and right, there is a problem here. A lot of the cooler cars are locked behind credits, which is the in-game currency here. And when I say credits, I mean credits. And I will say, the game does a fair job of giving you a modest amount of credits, but when you look at the fact that some of these cars get as high as the millions, it becomes an issue because, you guessed it, microtransactions. You can pay anywhere from $2.50 for 100,000 credits or up to $20 for a whopping 2 million credits. And honestly, it can and does feel a little predatory at times, considering that there are a few vehicles that are around $3 million, and with there being no option to buy 1 million credits, it locks you into paying $40 to get $4 million to buy a $3 million car. Not okay. The other issue here comes from the user interface. Where so many other racing games have gone the route of open world, Gran Turismo 7 could have done something a bit different. While I understand the focus on fidelity and car models is important here, the big issue comes from, as crazy as it sounds, the presentation. The user experience leaves you to pretty much navigate through the entire game through what feels like a PS2 menu. The quote-unquote world map is really just a decorative menu. Find where you want to go, move the cursor, hit X, and go. And while car customization honestly is amazing, it's bogged down by the fact that there are no templates or set wraps that you can use. You have to be one of those artsy and creative types to really get a cool looking car. Also, the soundtrack has some bops on it, but it also has a few songs that I couldn't explain with any other word than awkward. But the big problem is there is no skip track option. If a song plays, that song is gonna play. There's no way to skip it, and in a driving game, that is criminal. My only other gripe with this game isn't a personal one, but it's one that I have to call out nonetheless. As good as this game is for newcomers, I would imagine the way that this game slowly leads you into a lot of the higher, faster races may be a bit of a problem for veterans of the series that are ready to get in and go and do it on the highest level. As I approach the 20-hour mark, I am just now finally starting to get into some higher stake races. At the end of it all, if Gran Turismo has ever been a series that you're curious about, I'm gonna tell you now, Gran Turismo 7 is absolutely the place for you to get started. It's super friendly for the newcomers, the cars are beautiful, graphics amazing, the music for the most part is good, and it's a lot of fun. We can only hope that down the line we get patches that improve some quality of life things and some much needed balance to the in-game economy. For anyone looking to display the sheer raw graphical fidelity of their new PS5 and shiny 4K TV, Gran Turismo 7 is for you. For anyone who's a veteran of the game, it will demand a bit of patience, but this game is obviously for you as well. If I had to give this game an overall score, I would give it an 8 out of 10. I'll definitely be around playing this game for hours to come moving forward. As always, I want to thank you guys again for stopping by to check out another review right here now on Blurred Lines YouTube channel. Be in mind, all of DadPad Gaming's content will be imported to the Blurred Lines YouTube channel. So please give us a like, give us a comment, don't forget to subscribe for more content and more Blurred Lines podcast content to come.
All right, so I want to say this real quick. The music on that game had me dancing the whole entire time. Like
I
it
wish
is.
I could have seen that. I wish I could have
Listen,
seen that.
you don't understand how much like that sound resonates with me as a child. Like just thinking about it is like taking me back to like classic video game fighting game music, like in
Oh yeah.
the waiting music where you like picking your character before you pick your character, you just sit there.
Oh
I
yeah.
used to sit there like this and just let it play. I was that
Yeah.
much of a
And let
weeb
the,
when it came to it.
oh yeah. Like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, like with that
Oh
like
man.
weird like acid jazz vibe. Oh yeah. Like
Oh, what's that? How does
yeah.
song go? I'm gonna
Got to
take you
take
for
you for
a
a
ride.
ride.
Yeah,
Yeah,
listen,
you
I was in the
know.
back jamming about that. Listen, before y'all let you speak, Greg. That review was amazing. You
Thank
know,
you, man.
really
Thank you.
great job with the review. The game looks absolutely good. You cannot go wrong with Gran Turismo games, period. Like they look good, period.
Yeah,
They like Gran Turismo is one of them games that you can always trust it. That and Forza, them two always in competition. But it's like when I see Gran Turismo, it puts a smile on my face because it's the most realistic, I say for me personally, racing type game because they always kind of keep it grounded a little bit. Now I know
yeah,
some controls could probably be a little loose or stuff like that, but they try to keep it the cars looking amazing. They try to keep the the atmosphere of it amazing. They keep the crowd amazing. You know,
yeah.
and try to keep things going for them.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Greg.
The coolest thing about the game, and I don't know, we've got to get to the next topic, and I should have spent more time in the review talking about the DualSense, but I could have
Mm-hmm.
made a whole video about the DualSense. But
Mm-hmm.
with the left and the right trigger, they have the pressure resistance in there. So the pressure, it's actually like a pressure sensitive deal as well. So
Right.
depending on the resistance, depends on the car and depends on the load on the car and how heavy the
Mm-hmm.
car is,
Right.
will make the throttle and the brake triggers lighter or heavier, which
Right.
also then will reflect how hard or you brake or how fast you accelerate.
Right.
So it's one of those things that, again, as the review said, I cannot stress it enough.
Right.
The amount of the amount of like game changingness, though it's not a
Right.
word, that DualSense provides for this
It's all
game
good.
is outrageous. Like anyone that has a PS5 and has $70 to burn, or if you have a wonderful team like Blur Approved Gaming behind you, go try it out. Like maybe you won't learn the game. I will say it is a very difficult game to play. And there is a reason why I chose to only use one or two different tracks in the gameplay footage, is
Right.
because there is a learning curve there. But if you commit, there's something special to be had there. And quite honestly, I've got Ghostwire Tokyo around the corner. I'm finally finishing up Horizon Forbidden West. I'm coming to the last couple story missions there.
Mm.
And I still have to really start Destiny. I am excited to be able to play some Gran Turismo on the side while I kind of venture through my next round of reviews. So definitely go check it out.
Got you. Okay. Listen, I say, like I said, that definitely get your reviews on with that. It was an amazing looking game. I love the review that Greg gave on that. It tells the story of Gran Turismo as far as this one. It is a PlayStation only game, isn't it?
Yep. PlayStation
Uh,
family, man.
yeah, so PlayStation only for everybody who is watching. So Xbox and other systems, don't get your hopes up. You know, Gran Turismo has always kind of been a PlayStation baby anyway. So it's like, you know, so all right, as we move on, we're moving on to our next segment, which would be a good game that's coming out. I checked it out just a little bit. Hogwarts Legacy. I'm guessing it has something because I don't, for me personally, I have never really gotten to certain games, but I took peeks at this game in particular. I'm guessing it has something to do with what's the movie? Um,
Star Wars.
I don't think Star Wars. No, think of what is it? Harry Potter. Harry Potter. So it has something to do with Harry Potter. So Hogwarts Legacy. I'm looking at the gameplay and it is beautiful. If
Yeah.
you have not got a chance to look at it, the gameplay of it is very, very beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
and this is pretty much every Harry Potter fan's like dream, make that has a game that's just like Harry Potter. They can get into there. I guess they're creating their character and stuff like that. There's different classes that you could pick between the characters. There are different things that you could do, so that'd be fun, for the people that's into Harry Potter, the people that understand Harry Potter. From my understanding, you can actually use, like, if you're if of course with your wine and stuff, you can actually like clean the animals and like pet the animals and stuff like that. So, or the different creatures that's in there, you're fighting against like big creatures, small creatures. There's some big time stuff going on in here. So
and personally, like, I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan, but I do like it. So it's interesting that we have this property. Like, some more details, like, it is set a couple hundred years before Harry Potter.
Okay.
So while you will see some familiar characters and maybe some of the ancestors of familiar characters, you won't get like your Harry and Ron. Maybe like, I know what's his face? What's the old wizard's name? Can't remember it right now, but he's like one of the main teachers, like Dumbledore. Yeah, there we go. See, our PG, which stands for our producer gods, they've got our back. So PG says Dumbledore, and yes, that's who I was thinking about. Like, maybe we'll see Dumbledore in there, because as I understand, he's supposed to be a few hundred years old and has been maneuvering through time and doing a bunch of crazy stuff. Who knows? But something that I do want to take a moment to talk about, because it does need to be talked about. Harry Potter and Hogwarts Legacy are from the same IP creator, who is J.K. Rowling's. And J.K. Rowling's has in the past said some things that some people may find to be harmful. And it is okay to be offended by those things, and it is okay to make your decisions. I just want to take a moment to share with everyone that for Blurred Lines podcast, for Blurred Approved Gaming and Blurred Approved Entertainment alike,
Metro,
and for Metro as well, no one is aligning with the likes of J.K. Rowling's and her rhetoric. What we have to understand is that even on the side of cancel culture, all of it is harmful. You have to realize that when it comes to these type of matters and situations, these are not things that should be considered and weighed in as a group. They are things that should be considered on an individual level. With that being said, if you feel that Hogwarts Legacy is the game for you and you're going to buy it no matter what, only thing I ask is that you consider who created the IP, consider the fact that you will probably end up giving a portion of the purchase of this game to that creator, and weigh it out. Understand as a human being, and understand that other people are having human experiences that may be impacted by that on some level or another. If that is something that you cannot get over, do not buy the game. But if you are a person that cannot get over that, or even if you are a person that can get over that, it is your responsibility as a responsible adult and human being to respect the feelings of others. Please don't go and heckle people that want the game or do not want the game. And with that being said, maybe you want the game, but you feel like you have a guilty conscience in buying it, and maybe you don't know how to get around that. There are easy solutions. Let's say, the game, I'm assuming it's going to be $60 or maybe $70 for the next generation, however they play it out. You can buy the game and maybe take another $60-$70 or half that amount. Everyone has a different financial situation, and find the LGBTQ charity that you can donate some proceeds to as well.
It's a very good thing. Very good mention.
So there's duality to everything. So, life is short. We cannot spend all of this time at war and avoiding the things that we love. So with that, at least consider the people that created this game are probably fans of Harry Potter that got a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. They did not make the comments that J.K. Rowling did. She made those comments. So please, for the people that are making this game, that are maybe depending on bonuses that come from it, for the people that went to work and someone that got paid way more money than them said something that will impact their wallets. Think about it and make the purchase, or do not make the purchase off of your own merits and not off of the merits of others.
Yes. Yeah, and we all understand that. And I 100% agree with you, Greg. We all understand that sometimes the words of one can make it bad for all, and we definitely get that. We definitely understand that. I think that I am 100% behind what Greg said. Make your own decisions on how you want to do it. There is more than just her that works with that. And it's just like, when we make the decisions to go out and do something, do we do it because one person do it, or do we do it because there's multiple people that has done this? Is it the whole entire group as a collective? If it's just one person, really, really sit back and think if it's worth it. Definitely try to push to help, that person out. She, at the end of the day, we can crucify her, but she actually needs the help. You actually need to actually have conversations with her and tell her, bring her to the forefront of her problems, let her see her problems, and then help her through the problems if that's your choice to do that. At the end of the day, I can't say everything is a mistake, but it's more or less like you chose to do something. Now, this is the consequence of your choice, but that doesn't mean that I can't help you through this now. Because everybody needs help in every area. Some people grow up a certain way, some people are a certain way, and as humans, we are nurturers by nature, so sometimes we can help that situation and help her improve her life and decisions and stuff that she said. Because over here on this side, with Blurred Approved Gaming, I can imagine, of course, with Metro Esports and with Blurred Lines Podcast, that's not how we get down over here. So it's like,
absolutely. And if you really want to take it to the next level, buy the game. You can even buy it used, because if you buy it used, those profits go directly to GameStop. They do not actually go to the developers. So that is your choice. And if it doesn't go to the developers, ultimately it will not go to J.K. Rowling for a second time. Mm-hmm. But with that as well, be in mind that Avalanche Software, who is the team that is developing this game along with Portkey Games, is also making it very public and very vocal that within this game, you can create any character you want and dress them any way. So if you want to create someone with a feminine body that has a man's voice, go for it. If you want to create a masculine body that wears a dress with a feminine voice, go for it.
Your choice.
So that should tell you that the people that create this game do not fully coincide with the rhetoric of J.K. Rowling. So just keep it in mind, guys.
Right.
So
okay, with that being said, we are going to head over to our next thing. So we have the Metro link tree. Make sure that you guys follow the Metro link tree right there at the bottom when it shows up. Here you go, link tree. Follow all of those on Metro side. Support them and everything that we're doing, because they're supporting us and everything that we're doing. So after that, next we have our Blurred Approved Gaming link tree. Make sure that you follow all of those, because once again, we support you. You support us. No, I'll play it. Yeah, so
go lick that like button.
Follow, that like button, subscribe,
all of that.
Do it all. Yes. Do it all. And listen, we gotta get y'all stuff up there too, Blurred Lines. We gotta get that going.
Oh,
so
yeah.
So after that, we get, also a special thing before we go to commercial. Today we are announcing the Switch winner for the contest. Yay, the contest. So make sure that y'all are paying attention later on, and then the winner will be shown live here, so they know for sure who wins this contest. So that being said, head to a commercial break.
Competition going crazy. Master control of what you playing. Legal so you smashing. Metro Esports, yeah, we have it. Do you wanna learn for the best? Yeah. Coaches who will put you to the test. Yeah, come down and sharpen your skills. Drop it for night, Call of Duty, get killed. Yeah, NBA 2K, shoot your shot and make some plays. We got tournaments all day. Make some money, make it rain. Games is not all that we got. Learn you some coding and get yourself hot. Making new friends on the way to the top. Join the community, have you some fun. Metro Squad, repping the city of Philly with all that we got. Let's rock. Come down and do this and get yourself ready to drop. Join the community, have you some fun. Metro Squad, repping the city of Come down and join us and get yourself ready to drive.
Man, that commercial is always so fire. I love it.
That
I love
commercial
it.
is pretty good. I like it a lot. I ain't gonna lie to you. I do like this commercial a lot.
Yes.
So,
At this point, we'll get into some big news this week.
yeah.
So Sony and the guys over at PlayStation made a pretty big purchase this week.
Mhm.
They announced it Monday morning. That announcement is that they actually made the acquisition of Haven Studios.
Mhm.
Now, the thing is, at face value, that doesn't really mean much because of the fact that Haven Studios is actually a new studio that has never made a game before.
Really?
But yes,
Okay.
this is the thing that people are not realizing. At
Mhm.
the launch of PS5, well, actually, I'll even go back a little bit further. There is Jade Raymond, who is she is a woman. She is a pioneer in the gaming industry here
Mhm.
as of late, and has been driving things in a really progressive way.
Right.
So she was actually signed on to be a creative director over at Google Stadia,
Right.
which we all know how Google Stadia went. And unfortunately, Google did not understand the fact that games take time to develop, and they
Mhm.
shut down their process over there after like a year or two. And most games take about 3 to 5 years to develop. I guess they just never got that memo. But when they shut down, Jade Raymond was a free agent. She actually took herself and a bunch of other veteran game developers, and they created Haven Studios. They signed with PlayStation because they were going to go with Haven creating a brand new IP for PlayStation that Sony would own. But after they created that, because they were free agents, they would create that and then they would go about their lives and create whatever other games they wanted to create.
Okay.
Now, the reason why some people should be excited, and maybe some of our Xbox and maybe even Nintendo fans are probably going to kind of scoff and roll their eyes at this, is because Jade Raymond has been a lead developer on the following games here: The Sims Online, Assassin's Creed 1, 2, Bloodlines, and Unity.
Okay.
On Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Blacklist, which is another huge and fan favorite.
Right.
Far Cry 4, The Mighty Quest of Epic Loot, which I'm not familiar with, and Star Wars Battlefront 2. So
good game.
This is someone who has been lead on some big ticket games, and arguably Assassin's Creed 2 probably being a lot of people's still favorite Assassin's Creed of all of them.
Right.
So this could be huge, especially the fact that we know they are creating an IP. We don't really know much about what that IP is, but for Sony to say, hey, create this IP for us and then go about your day, obviously they've seen what was created. It was like, oh, you know what? Come here, get this check. So I mean, I guess we could be excited about it. We don't really know what game is coming from it, but what we do know is they did say that the game is actually coming along and further in development than a lot of us may expect. So maybe we'll see something by the end of this year, and maybe it'll release next year. Who knows? I don't know, but that exciting news. So where you at with this, Mike? I know right now. I know it's kind of rough, but I know particularly Xbox has been having some issues because I know that on their end there's been a lot of problems with in particular. I know they have the Perfect Dark game that is in development, and last week it came out that they actually lost almost their entire management team for development on that team. Lead level designers, creative directors, game directors, principal world builders have all left that studio in the middle of development on that game. So when you're looking over the fence and you see the grass on the other side, how does that make you feel?
For me personally, when it comes to Xbox, I felt like maybe that isn't such a bad thing, but maybe it is because is it in high demand? Perfect Dark.
Oh,
That's the part.
absolutely.
No,
So
no, no. That's what I'm saying. It is. So it's like it is in high demand. So I do like look at it as a loss, but it's like I say, are y'all planning to retool? Are y'all planning to do something different? Like is it are y'all hiring another management team? Is it a reason why this team left in particular? Is it something that y'all not doing on your side? Like that's the questions that really is to be asked. What's happening at Xbox and
so
who's running it?
so this is the scary thing about it.
Yeah,
So Playground Games, which is actually responsible for the Forza series,
I know Playground Games.
yeah,
Yeah,
is the development team that is actually making this Perfect Dark game, which is kind of
okay.
weird because I mean, racing, driving over to this, I don't know. But at the same
Hmm.
time, we had Guerrilla Games and they did
Guerrilla
Killzone for
Games.
years and then they knocked it out of the park with Horizon. So we can't necessarily count them out for that.
No,
But
we can't. No.
what strikes me as alarming is we have Crystal Dynamics, I want to say, who is actually co-developing this game along with Playground Games. And I highlight this for a particular reason because Microsoft's biggest issue has always been the fact that they have issues managing and cultivating studios. And the proof in the pudding is here because with this particular game, they're not
Mhm.
looking to rehire anyone. From what I understand
Mm,
and what I've seen on Twitter and some of the other news outlets are saying that they've only posted maybe 1 or 2 jobs
mm,
related to this game. So it looks like they're shifting more of the development over to those guys over on the other side. So it's a little alarming. We can hope that maybe things pick up. I mean, obviously they still have other games coming down the pipeline, but in a situation where you continue to see PlayStation and Sony cultivating these studios where you can see the
mhm.
likes of Naughty Dog escalate from Crash Bandicoot to Jack and Daxter to Uncharted to The Last of Us
Right.
and and so on and so forth. We haven't really seen the same out of Microsoft.
Mm,
And this is alarming. So I as people that and I am more on the PlayStation side, Mike is more on
yeah.
the Xbox side. We have chosen our sides, but all in all, like we don't want to see any game fail. The
Yeah.
reality is the better a game is, the better games in general will be.
Yeah.
Because guess what? When Horizon 1 came out and it was a great game, but the Breath of the Wild came out and ate its lunch, what happened? Horizon went back to the drawing board, and what did they do? They, with their new game, they improved their climbing systems, and they said, all right, well, we've got to find a way to get down these mountains. Hey, if Link can do a hang glider, why can't Aloy? So innovation in this market is only good for us. So ultimately, we all always want to see that these games do better, do more creative things, and innovate. Because at the end of it all, we win. We get better games. So regardless of what the fanboyism and the console war stuff is, we don't want that. We want
Mhm.
everybody to win here, guys.
Yeah, and I'll say this as far as being an Xbox guy, it's something that probably didn't pay attention to as much, and I'm gonna tell you why I didn't because I was so hooked into the basic games that they have, the Halos, the NBA 2Ks, all the big developers that's on both
Oh yeah,
systems, and I never paid that no attention because at the end of the day, like for me, I always consider Halo to be the biggest franchise game of all time. That's just me, but outside of Mario, you can't really compete with Mario. I considered Halo to be. But then I look back and I'm like, y'all have Uncharted, y'all have Tomb Raider, even though it's on Xbox now, but y'all had, Tomb Raider, um, Spyros, and the uh who else am I thinking about? Crash Bandicoot, all these games that were pretty much developers under PlayStation at one point. PlayStation was building developers and a lot of people who were independent growing up and not being on both systems. They had a lot of, games that was designated strictly to that. You know
yeah,
what I mean? At one point, Squaresoft was strictly almost PlayStation at one point, besides being on Super Nintendo and Nintendo, but they working well with PlayStation and stuff like that. Like, so it's like when you think about it, yeah, that does raise the alarm because it's like we're always going to be if that's the case and they don't develop games, It's classics, new, no matter what. If they're not developing the right type of games, this is the problem you're going to run into when it comes to having competition with the other system, because they're going
Yeah.
to still be releasing a whole bunch of independent games, and Xbox is going to just be releasing games that's on both systems. So you don't have competition, because
Yeah.
it's like, well, I can be a PlayStation guy, I'll play what you play.
Yeah. And that's what it is. Competition breeds innovation. So all in all, we want to see everybody win. Everybody win.
Listen, PlayStation, y'all winning, because them games y'all got, I'm like, oh damn. You got Horizon now. Y'all got you got Gran Turismo. Y'all got too much going on. It's too much going on. Most people play most of their games like that on PlayStation. So
Oh yeah, definitely so. But speaking of wanting everyone to win, I just want to remind you guys that the winner of that Nintendo Switch Lite is right around the corner. So
sure.
hang out with us, because it could happen right now.
It could, but that don't mean it's going to. No, but I'm playing. So, with that being said, look, what's coming up next? We have something Friday that's coming up this Friday. We have a Mortal Kombat tournament. It's Metro's Fight Night tournament. I'm ready for this. I'm ready to get it. Armani Vis versus Best Rating. If you guys remember, whoever followed Blood Approved Gaming, remember the last tournament that we had, that was our winner. Best Rating was our winner. Let me get that one more time. Put that up there for me one more time. Best Rating was our winner. As you guys can see, this is registration. Make sure that y'all follow all the instructions on there when you guys register in. Make sure that y'all follow the Discord for your scheduled matchups. Be active in the matchups. Talk. Get to know people. But best believe it's Mortal Kombat time when it's time. That's my guy right there, Armani Vis, I can't say child, but we grew up together kind of. So that's one of my guys right there. He's joining into the tournament. He's ready to go. Like, that's a special matchup. These two have a rivalry, so it makes it even better. But come into the facility. Anybody that's in the PA area that is close to Warminster, PA, in the Philadelphia area, come to Warminster, PA. Come join us there. Have some fun. I'll be there. Vis will be there. A couple others will be there. So definitely come through and have some fun and get ready for this tournament. It's going to be fire. I'm ready for it.
Yeah,
Greg,
that's going to be fire, man.
You might as well sign up.
You know what? I am not a Mortal Kombat 11 guy.
Just press box.
I'm big on Mortal Kombat X. I would throw some hands and mix up with y'all in Mortal Kombat X. But I'm a fair believer that, hey, if you got fear in your dojo, don't pull up. Okay, because people gonna be out here, they gonna be throwing hands, and you gotta be ready. I know that that your boy Armani and Best Raiden have a bit of a rivalry here.
Yeah,
so I'm really excited to see how this plays out.
Yeah,
hopefully we get a little bit of trash talk, maybe a your mama joke or two. You never know.
So before we move on, I will give you guys my guy Vis. He knows him and Best Raiden. Shouts out to both of them, of course. They have a rivalry that spans back probably about 3 years. So they've played against each other before. They've had words for each other before. I don't know if they're nemesis on the game, but they have had battles in this game where trash talk between them two has gone. And anybody who knows my guy Vis, he don't pull no punches. He don't hold back for nobody. Sometimes he don't even hold back for me, because I'm one of them friends to him that's just like, he know I'm gonna be like the damn Vince. You on it, you on the day, and he'll just keep going. He keep going, but he trusts, that this is the reason why we've been friends for over 10 years now. So it's like, that's my guy right there. But best believe it's gonna be fire when he walk through that door. He ain't playing no games. He's a J specialist. I think he plays Terminator and he plays RoboCop. So he's versatile. But I think he subs. Don't talk to him about Scorpion. Do not talk to him about Scorpion. Just don't do it. Don't talk to him about cheap players. He's not going to be happy, and you're not going to get conversation out of him. So
you got to be careful about that. Like, as a big fighting guy, anytime you bring up a fighting game, whether it's Dragon Ball Fighters, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and so on, if you want to talk about Ryuken, you want to talk about Sub-Zero, Scorpion, you want to talk about Goku and Vegeta, it's like, all right, bro. You probably gonna catch these hands, because you're talking about basically the basic characters here, the training wheel characters.
Mhm.
So like, and don't get me wrong, you could get good with those characters, but
Right.
9 out of 10 times when someone is talking about a fighter and they go to, oh yeah, I like the cover art guy, it's not going to end well for you, sir.
But see, that's the reason why Mortal Kombat, because why it's making them as much money as it do. Because I honestly, as a kid, I thought it was Liu Kang. You know, the dragon. You know, I'm thinking,
Oh, yeah.
okay, it's Liu Kang.
Well,
So
it actually was. And I don't know how much you pay attention to the lore and the story of Mortal Kombat.
Oh, I do.
But Liu
Yeah,
Kang is
he's
still
dead.
more or less was more or less still the lead, and now they kind of do like this weird Johnny
Scorpion
Cage being
now.
the chosen one thing.
Yeah.
But because Ed Boon, the creator of Mortal Kombat, is like Scorpion is his baby. From what I
really is.
understand, he was more intimately involved in the creation of Scorpion than he was most of the other characters, and that's become his favorite character. So through awesome character design, wonderful move sets, and grueling fatalities, somehow our guy Scorpion has just made his way up to being the official mascot of Mortal Kombat, outside of the Dragon Head. Shout out to the Dragon Head.
That dragon been there forever. You've been doing your
been
thing,
there.
Dragon.
Right.
Listen, you've been there forever. I'm gonna say this before we move on. I got 2 questions. Not 2 questions. I got one thing to say and then a question. So Scorpion is more recognizable because of what? Come here.
Oh yeah,
That word is legendary. He was one of the only ones who talked. So it was like when he came, he was the only one. It makes sense why he would have more investment in him, because he had a move where he tell you to. That's some beast stuff for you.
Raiden used to say, but that was it. You know,
Sub-Zero was just cool. It was just, but when you heard "Come here," like I remember as a kid, my stepfather would he actually used to love Scorpion. He'd do the "come here" all the time. Like he'd just do it all the time. He thought that was some beast stuff to say. So no. Yeah. And now here goes my question: who was your favorite?
Who was my favorite Mortal Kombat character?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a tough one. So what I will say is I don't think I necessarily have a favorite Mortal Kombat character, but my main in Mortal Kombat X, which is my MK of choice, is Katana. I'm talking about like when you really learn Katana, you can chain together some mean combos and not even have to use a bit of your meter. So she gets real nice with the juggles, the combos. She's super quick, light on her feet. Love it.
She is annoying.
I
love Katana. No, she can keep you at bay. Mortal Kombat 10 was set up for her to hit combos on you like crazy, because she throw that fan at you and that thing get to spinning and you just combo. Now you're stuck in a combo.
I'm a juggle.
It wasn't no basic tap and then no, it was like a keep you here for about a second and a half. Right. And then
enough time to close the gap.
Enough time, exactly. Enough time. Okay, so while we're at it, so make sure to check us out Friday. It's at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Sign up for it. Metro's website. Sign up for it. Follow us and follow Metro inside of the Discord. Make sure that y'all get in there. So the registration, y'all can see the prize pool is right there. The prize pool is of many things. So all the instructions will be on the website itself. So make sure that y'all sign up for that. All right. So moving into the next thing we're going to talk about, we have the Halo show that is coming out. Now, you just heard me talk about Halo. You know how I feel about Halo. That's just my guy. I'm sorry. Master Chief is one of them guys that I think I trust Master Chief with almost over anybody. That's just a subhuman. We're talking about subhumans. We're talking about strong ass humans. That's what we're gonna talk about. We're not talking about the Gokus and the Vegetas and that one of them people on that screen behind yours and Tundra on them guys. But we're talking about just a basic subhuman or a person who's probably a superhuman. A superhuman, and he's like my height. He's probably a little bit taller than me.
Like so. in the realm of like Captain America and Black Panther.
Yes,
more or less. Yeah, enhanced humans, but not necessarily super people.
Yes, I trust him more than both of them too, because he actually saved
more than Captain America.
He saved the whole world. Who Captain America saved without the Avengers? Nobody. Anyway,
what?
He didn't. Listen,
that is nerd blasphemy.
Listen,
Go.
Listen,
get out.
Did Halo? Hold on. Did Master Chief Oh, no, you didn't. See, here we go. Here we go. The bias in the
Hey,
background.
all
Anyway,
hail the PG. Thank you, PG. We love you, man. We love you.
anyway, let's get into some Halo. So, talk about this Halo pop episodes. How are you feeling about the new
So
Halo?
I don't know. I've never really been big on Halo. I've
Mhm.
played a few of them, and I played the most recent one. I had a little bit of fun with it. I'm not really big on the story, but
Mhm.
there's one thing that
Dude,
I
you
am
don't
a
know what
bit.
you're missing.
Yeah, there's one thing well, I've watched like some like summaries and kind of have the gist
Mhm.
of it. Yeah. And it's your classic space opera, aliens blowing stuff up, but not really blowing stuff up, and we got to stop them. And I'm the one badass, and I'm going to do it. So I get it,
Mhm.
and especially the time that it came up in the early 2000s, like yeah, I'm sure people ate that up. But as far as the show goes, the thing that I'm most curious about is the fact that they made an announcement saying that Master Chief will be unmasked or de-helmeted, which is not a word, in the show. And we will see his face for the first time ever.
Mhm.
Um, I'm not the biggest fan of that. Simply for the fact that when that happens, it's gonna probably change the way that Master Chief is handled in the games. I kind of
Mm.
like the idea of the mass protagonist who's just a badass and all about business. Like
Mhm.
that's cool, like that's what made him so awesome is the fact that it's like, oh man, you see the shoulders panning up, the helmet goes on, the steam blows out from under it as it locks in, you ready to go.
Mhm.
And it's part of the charm of Halo is who the hell is this guy? Who is
Right.
he really? So I really wish that if we would have seen him unmasked, we would have seen him unmasked, preferably in the Bungie days since they are the creators of Halo.
Mhm.
But they passed it over to 343, and 343 has been doing its thing with Halo as well. And they, at this point, are the proprietors of Halo. I would have rather much seen them do it and then them follow suit in the game. I mean,
Yeah.
in the show.
Mhm.
So I just hope that this doesn't really ruin the experience for the Halo fans that are more interested in the games than they are the licensed TV show.
Okay. So I'm gonna gear a different way from what Greg said, and I'm gonna explain why. When you're a lifer with Halo and been playing the game, of course, since 2001, um, I say being a game that has been out over 20 years now, it's okay. It's okay to reveal Master Chief. It's not going to hurt him. The reason why is because we got so much of him. We have so much satisfaction out of him. Like I always say, Master Chief and Kratos are the same level to me, and
I can
how
see
their
that.
respect for the respect is. Like, and this is why this is the only thing I would throw at that. Kratos has a son. Did anybody want to see Kratos with a son? I don't know. They still wanted to see Kratos be that badass, as we say, that died and he that goes around and do certain things and just destroying or whatever the case is. But this was a next step into Kratos. This was Kratos evolving into something more, to becoming something more than just he's a father protecting himself
Yeah.
while fighting big monsters and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
now, just an unveiling of John and letting everybody know what he looks like does not hurt John at all. To me personally, maybe other fans, but you know, I would never sit back and say that, it would hurt him necessarily. I just think that it'll probably be like, okay, what do you do now?
Yeah.
What do you do
Yeah.
going forward with him?
And that's kind of what my concern is because like
Mhm.
on the end with Kratos, like don't get me wrong, like God of War 1 through 3 and Chains of Olympus, and there's another
Yeah.
one I'm forgetting, and even Ascension to a certain degree were
Yeah.
all awesome games, some better
Yeah.
than others, but they were
Okay.
all awesome.
Right.
But with that, the main issue with God of War that was fixed with the soft reboot in the Norse mythology realm is the fact that God of War grew up with its audience. When we were playing God of War 3 and we were bashing in Zeus's head until the screen was just completely bloody red, we were
Hmm.
angry teenagers.
Hmm.
And what makes God of War soft reboot so interesting is because since that point, we're no longer angry teenagers. We're no longer these wild young adults. A lot of us did transition into parenthood and so many other things.
Yeah.
So we got to see Halo. I mean, we got to see Kratos grow up with us.
Yep.
Whereas on the side of like Master Chief, like I know Master Chief has his own development. But there's a difference between when you see a character develop versus growing up with a character. So that's why, to me, I wish they would have done it in the game, because in the world, in a perfect world, Master Chief is, I don't know, he's unmasked and Cortana somehow becomes a human. Maybe they get married and they have these super cool android kids that destroy all the evil people in the universe. Like, who knows? But it would have been cool to explore that new dimension of Master Chief with Master Chief, opposed to watching him go through it on a TV screen. So, I mean, we haven't seen the show. We don't know what degree it's going to come to.
Right.
The pilot episode is coming out this Thursday, so just a few days away at this point. I guess we'll have to wait and see, man.
Yeah. So I agree with you as far as that, but like, so somewhat I've played all of the God of Wars, not every last one, but all of them. I didn't play 4, and I didn't play certain God of Wars.
So
I
wait,
didn't
you didn't
play. I
the
watched
newest
my
one?
brother play. Usually, see, I'm the little brother that watched the older brother play. So that's me. I watched my brother play that one. And I watched him play 3, but the other 2, God of War 1 and 2, I've played both of those and beat both of those.
Okay.
Because that PlayStation 2 is it's probably my favorite system outside of like Super Nintendo. So me growing up with Halo, so like I get what y'all saying as far as his progression as a character. The one thing I will say is, even though Halo is about Master Chief and God of War is about Kratos, the difference between the two was that Halo went like this. What I mean by that is so many other characters came into play. So much other things started happening. When Reach came out, it changed the game. Even though it's not their favorites. I don't know how it's my favorite, but it's not their favorites. But you got to see that there was others out here before John was born, and before certain things was happening. There was stories. There was all types of things. Halo is a huge lore, just like God of War, because God of War is in the Greek mythology, with Thor and Poseidon's and all them the world. But like when it came to Halo, you actually see Master Chief in the newest one become emotional, but in his way, not to the point where he's crying, but emotional in a way where
absolutely,
he dealing with the fact that Cortana was no more, and he has a new version of Cortana with him. You could tell it hurt him looking at these things. And it's his own way, because he's a superhuman they're more plugged to be kind of like androids in a way. Kind of like how Android 17 and 18 are, where they have emotions, but they deal with it in a very robotic way. Because they're still humans, but like I said, when it came to Chief, he's like one of them guys who he displays his own level of something, but he's a tough guy. He's a badass, just like Kratos. That's why I give them two of them respect, because them two, for the most part, really helped PlayStation, and just like Halo helped Xbox. Those two were the real big catalyst behind it. That's why I say they're neck and neck with each other when it comes to just the franchises overall.
Absolutely.
So yeah. So with that being said, we're heading into my next segment, which is Mike Hennessy's Xbox Game Pass Games of the Week. Bring that to me. All right. So we have this game, Young Souls, right here. When you get a chance, while we're sitting here, check it out, Greg. Just go ahead and check it out.
No. There's only one way to fix this. PG, please provide us with the trailer, because I can see this key art in the background, and it already looks like it might be something I need to look at. Because I'm here. Yeah, this is. This looks pretty cool.
Young Souls is an epic role-playing adventure game with intense beat-em-up gameplay, a thrilling story, and lots of loot.
Got some parries in here.
You play as Jen and Tristan, two rebellious, temperamental twins on a
Just
mission to
watch.
save their foster
Just
father.
look at their
a sweet
language.
and loving
Yep.
scientist who's gone missing. Your adventure begins
I
right after
love
his
this
disappearance
style,
with the
wow.
discovery of a hidden cellar and a mysterious
Yep.
portal to a parallel world where goblins dwell. Your search for him reveals a rich, captivating journey about family, friendship, and growing
You've
up.
got the
You'll
ambiguous
explore dungeon on dungeon
ethnic
in
background
quest
here.
To find your father.
They
All
look
while
like they
facing
could be
hordes of
light-skinned, but they
goblins,
also look like they could be
spiders,
Scottish or
mayhem, and
Irish with the
more.
red hair. So there's some type of multiracial.
I think they got freckles too.
You know what I'm saying? They might
This is
be
the
your
gameplay.
cousins.
Black
Along with the
gingers.
standard light and charged attacks available to Jen and Tristan, there are several more moves you can perform. For
Oh
example,
my
you
goodness, I
can
can't
do
launch
that on
air,
enemies
never
into
mind.
the air, sweep them
Yes,
to the
listen.
ground with a fast downward strike, or grab them.
Okay, I'm gonna
You can
ask
also
this.
tackle them,
Now,
do a
and I
dive
don't mean to
attack,
offend
or
anyone when I
perform a
say this, but I
whirlwind
think
attack.
everyone has
The
seen or heard
choices
the
are
South
many.
Park
And for
episode.
special moves
Gingers
and
have no
spells
soul.
with spectacular effects,
So
We have
if you,
souls.
just need
so
to
if
spend
you
some
are
money.
black and ginger,
In
does
terms
that mean
of
that you
weapons,
do have a
young
soul?
souls have
Yes.
everything.
Because black folk got
Short
soul.
swords, long
Got
swords,
big time soul.
daggers, hammers,
You know?
axes, you name it.
But yeah,
I got a
this
full.
looks-
Pros
Listen, I
and
have a full
cons and
beard at
own
that too. So you know.
Yeah.
And
Look,
it's up to
man, we're
you
not
to
gonna talk about the full
experiment
beard.
and
This
find
is
the
like
perfect
3
balance
years,
between
okay?
Jen and Tristan.
Like, we're not gonna talk about that, okay?
The
My
standard
hair is
gauge
better
is
than yours.
used
How
for
about that,
rolling
okay?
and
Hey,
shunting.
listen.
Keep the
I
beard.
almost
Use it
agree with you.
wisely to dodge
You can
attacks.
keep the beard. That
You
might
can
be a
also
little bit of
block
salt.
damage with your weapon or shield. Don't overuse
As you
this,
watching
though,
this game,
or your
like,
guard will vanish,
This
and
game
you're
is
liable to
amazing.
get
Like,
crushed.
look at
Yeah.
just look at the gameplay.
Parrying
Like,
is the
look at the
best way
fighting.
to render
You
enemies
see how you can play
vulnerable.
with one?
Do
Was
it
these
right
Okay.
things
when
that you
the
can
And
enemy
this is
switch
on-
in and
and this is
out.
on
Right,
PlayStation
you
as
can
well, 'cause
stun
This is
them.
on PlayStation. Well,
Yeah.
yes,
In single
but it's
player
free for
mode,
us on
you only
Xbox, so that's
control
why I was
one
like,
character
you know,
at a
this
time,
Game Pass
but
game.
you can switch
Right.
between them whenever
So I have
you
Game
want.
can
Pass
switch between
Ultimate
them.
on
Use
my
this feature to
PC,
your
so
advantage and create insane
I don't need
combo
an
attacks.
Xbox.
If one of the twins is injured, switching allows the injured one to recover some health. And if a twin dies in battle, you can revive
both.
them as long as they have lives left.
See, too
Yeah, this
good.
looks-
Young
this
Souls
looks
is
dope.
But then you
also
can switch their
playable in
their
co-op
their,
mode.
their stuff up.
Share your
Like
Oh,
one can
okay.
play with a really
with
big
friends,
sword to be a
time
heavy
your
swinger.
attacks together,
Another one can be a
and
light
become the
swinger.
most powerful and
Oh,
feared
okay. So there's
hero in the
multiplayer
Goblin
here
underworld.
because
Yeah,
each
you
one of
can
them
play-
ha-
yeah.
As you progress through your
But
adventure,
what
you
happens
can
is,
save your game
if
at
you're
various
not
portals
with,
and return
like,
home
let's
to
say I'm
level
not
up
playing with
before
you,
jumping back
I
in.
could just use both of them, like
Then
switch
switch
in and
between
out. Mm-hmm.
I can
Yep.
dig that.
Yeah, pretty cool.
There are lots of ways to spend your loot
Okay.
in Young Souls.
Yeah.
And these kids be cussing they
You can buy
behind
overpriced
off.
sneakers and new
We're playing.
clothes
We're looking at the
downtown.
PG version
Or you
because
can
she
hit
has
the
to do it
gym
that
at
way.
Happy Fit
These
to
kids be
improve your
cussing.
strength, resistance,
Yeah, they
and
look like they
stamina.
bad as hell.
Yeah, they
You can
bad.
also
Yeah.
visit the Goblin Market to
You
buy
know,
new gear
these are the
or
kids
upgrade
that
your
be at
current
the
ensemble
birthday
by trading
party in
in
the
their
moon
precious
bounce doing
stones,
backflips,
goblin
landing on
tears,
all the
and other
toddlers. You
items
know?
you find in
Yeah,
dungeons.
pulling all
Each
types of
piece of
WWE
equipment
moves on
offers
them.
something
Yeah,
different. For
you gotta watch them
an
kids.
elementary resistance.
They
or
was
a
they was
weakness
the
to things
kids
like
hitting you
fire,
with the.
ice, lightning, or
I
poison.
eat those when you had the hot Cheetos. You know?
It also has plenty of weapons for sale. Shop
You gotta
wisely,
watch out
though.
for them kids, but this
Depending
game
on
looks
the enemies that
awesome.
lie ahead,
Yeah, it's really
On-
good.
fire
and this
sword
is
or
on
pure
Game
ice
Pass
daggers
now. So if you
definitely
are an
be
Xbox
useful.
owner,
Make sure to
if
pair
you
matching
are a
helmets and armor
PC
to
owner,
maximize their
and I
effectiveness.
hope
You can also
I
upgrade your
could
weapons
check.
at Lundgren's.
I could check to see if it's
Improve
on
your
Game
armor
Pass Ultimate for
economies
PC
or
as well.
enhance your accessories at Sylvester's.
Definitely check
And
this
don't
out
forget to
because
visit
this looks
Lloyd.
like one that
He has all
that
the
needs your
potions you need.
attention. And if you are playing
While
on
arming yourself to the
PlayStation,
teeth is
definitely
advised in Young
give
Souls,
give your
be
money to
careful.
these guys
The
because it
weight
looks
of
like they're
your gear
making
impacts
something
your speed.
unique
Keep a close
and
eye on
beautiful,
this,
man.
because
This
during
looks
the game,
really
you'll
awesome.
collect
Yeah,
hundreds of
this is a
weapons,
really good
armor
game.
sets,
I
and
really enjoy it.
accessories with unique
And it's called
features,
Young
which
Souls,
you'll
right?
definitely need in order to
Young
overcome the
Souls.
game's bosses.
Oh, that looked like it hurt.
Young Souls is full of epic boss fights. These
There we
form the
go.
core of the game.
That's what I like. I like boss fights.
Yeah,
Oh.
so there we go. So
Yeah.
if you are interested in that game, it is running for $24.99 with couch co-op on PlayStation 4. Is what that is. And of course, that goes to backwards compatibility as well. And also, of course, as it's the Game Pass game of the week, it is available on Game Pass, guys. So go
Game
check
Pass
that
for
out.
free. Yes. Pay your $16.99. You good to go.
Yeah. Or you
play
can pay
whatever game you have
$9
on it.
more and get only that game. or you
Pretty
can get a
much.
bunch of games with Game Pass.
Pretty
So
much. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So that is my Game Pass game of the week. I hope that you guys enjoyed that because I definitely did. I still play it over here, so it's like it's a good game. But me, I'm one of those multiplayer players. You know, that's probably why I'm an Xbox guy more than a PlayStation guy. But I ain't gonna talk about that too much. You know, as you know, we're all about teamwork.
oh yeah, absolutely.
We make the dream work.
Yeah, we do. So up next here we have games of the week. So let's check out what the releases for this week are looking like here. I know somewhere at the top of that list we've got to have Ghostwire Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
We have it's at the bottom of the list. How is it at the bottom of the list? It's the biggest release this week. PG, I'm disappointed. PG,
Hey.
I've prayed to you. We need trailers. I pray to you to bring more trailers. And PG, this is how you repay us. God.
So, the game that I see up there for me personally, that I like too, is Persona 4 Arena Ultimates. I like that. I was looking at the press.
So are you a Persona fan?
I am not. I can't say I'm not a Persona fan. I just never played Persona.
Ooh.
But watching that, I didn't know if I was watching an anime or a game. Like I really didn't know what it was, and I was like, "Oh, this is good right here. This is good."
So I'm gonna put it to you like this:
Mm-hmm.
Persona 5, and then there's Persona 5 Royal, which is literally the same game except for that it's added in like an additional story chapter and some other Easter eggs along the way.
Right.
Between both of those games, I have sunk into a single player narrative game. And I'm gonna throw the spinoff in there too, Strikers. I've put in 500 hours into those 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
Persona 5 in particular, the only way to explain it is playing your favorite anime game. Or your favorite anime show, rather. It's a wonderful experience. So if it ever comes to PC, check it out. If it ever comes to Xbox, like dive head on in. But let's go ahead and make our way down this list here. Because we've got a few.
Before you get the Ghostwire, before I know where you heading, I see where you going. Let's get the Kirby. We stop that Kirby real quick.
We're gonna go through the entire list.
Okay,
here
I got you.
Because we missed last week because I was freaking out about a show that didn't exist, and Mike was somewhere laughing at me, freaking out, and just doesn't want to admit it. So we owe you the due diligence of laying all this out. So we've got Phantom Breaker Omnia for PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch.
For the 7th time, go ahead.
Grand Theft Auto 5. Like, that is the only game that has been on as many consoles. Well, wait. I think Skyrim has it. I think Skyrim has it by 1 console because technically Skyrim is on Switch as well.
Oh.
But wait, I don't know if there's a PS5 patch for Skyrim though, like an actual PS5 Xbox Series X version. So they could be tied. But I digress.
No, real quick before you go, I'm gonna say this real quick. The problem with GTA, you've been on 3 different generation systems. 3.
Yeah.
360.
I mean, but
1.
It's the highest piece of entertainment.
With the highest selling company of all time.
Yeah, like it's sold more than any other piece of entertainment. Video games, movies, television. Grand Theft Auto 5 is it. So, I mean, I guess if it's not broke, don't fix it. And when you do fix it, just add in 60 frames per second and ray tracing because we love that stuff. Yeah, so we've got Lingo Legend on iOS that dropped last week on the 15th. Tunic, which is a Zelda clone. If you can, I don't know if we can get maybe a small trailer somewhere up of Tunic. It looks really cool. We have the Settlers, Persona 4 Arena, as you've said, Siberia, The World Before. And would you like to pick up the rest of those while I drink some water?
Yes, sir. Who pressed mute on Uncle Marcus? This sounds interesting. So we got to check that out.
You know what?
I need to see who pressed mute.
Y'all gonna have to go watch Tunic on your own PG, we are praying for the deliverance of Who Pressed Mute on Uncle Marcus.
Who pressed mute? Oh, Uncle
Well,
Marcus.
while you're
Like, that's
reading
not
that up,
good.
let's fly through the rest of this list.
Got you. So we got Final Fantasy Origins, Stranger of Paradise. It's a big one, but maybe we'll have to check that out and see what's going down with that. So we got Rune Factory 5, which is released on the Switch. I think they came out today. It's out today. So, and then now we have Future coming out this week. Norco, it's a PC. March 24th, The Ascent. We have that on PS4 and PS5. Then we have High Rise City. It's a Steam early access for the PC. Lumote, the Master Motes Chronicles, which is on all except for it's on all. It's on the last series systems. It's not on the new ones.
If that game is coming to Stadia, then you know it's everywhere.
And I'm gonna finish it off with a Memoir Blue, which is a PC. It's on all systems, on all the current and old gen. But take it away, Greg. Yep, I know that you hype about these last ones.
Kirby and the Forgotten Lands. If
That's
you want to be
so
Kirby
cool.
and eat a car, there you go. Ghostwire Tokyo, and also Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Can you say that 3 times fast? 1, 2, 3, go.
Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
You can't even get it out once.
Tiny Tina's Wonderland. I can't get it out. You got to say it quick.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not even going to try. That's why I bestowed that task upon you.
All right. We can run the Marcus trailer if you want. If you want to do that. You want to see that?
The what trailer?
The Marcus trailer. The Uncle Marcus.
Oh, yeah, okay. yeah.
I'm sorry. We got to do it better. Who pressed mute on Uncle Marcus?
Right? Let's see it.
Let's see it. Let's see it. Let us see it.
Hi, Uncle Marcus.
I need your help, Abby. I need you to investigate a murder.
Uncle Marcus looks like a creep.
Me.
I think there's a pun to what I'm watching right now. I think
we
we're supposed to hear
family
something.
meeting. Poison.
I'm sure we're supposed to hear something.
Find
maybe he's muted.
Find the proof.
Put him.
Find the killer.
Maybe, because I don't hear
anything strange at the meeting.
Maybe
you missed a mad one. He
how
bought
this
a
works.
gun.
We have to figure out why the game is muted and work our way
June
back.
said was going to be the end.
Yeah, go ahead. We can stop this. Yeah. So
So it's like one of those like real life video games with video clips. I don't know. Let's see.
Hi, Uncle Marcus.
That is Uncle Marcus.
I need you to investigate a murder.
Who's been killed?
What is this clue?
Me.
What? How is he answering?
Someone who was at the family meeting poisoned me. Find the poison, find the proof, find the killer.
Uncle Marcus got a lot of money.
Anything strange at the meeting?
Oh my god, you missed a mad one. He bought a gun.
That poison must not have
June
been
said
too
was going
strong
to be
for him
the
to
end
so
of the
comfortably.
road for Marcus.
Do you know anything about Bradley's poisons?
His what?
This family loved to bicker.
Love it.
The whole family hates him.
Brainless, stuck-up little moron. I'm not stuck up.
This family has got secrets. I told her dad left me the business, and they would get my share from my cold, dead hands.
You really don't see it, do you?
I figured that's what it was.
Don't get
I
sucked
do
in.
see it. This is Knives Out, the video
How many
game.
spiders do you see on my
Someone
hand?
saw that movie. It was like, man, we can make a really cheap video game.
Nimini pimini, nimini pimini.
Who poisoned Uncle Marcus?
Everyone makes mistakes, Abby.
What the hell happened back there?
They're on to me.
Who?
The killer.
Things are only going to get worse.
This family gets weirder every year.
Not as weird as this game, lady. Oh gosh, we got to bring back the one for finding the pants. That's the game that we should have picked.
Oh, the pants.
Finding those lost pants.
Them what is that? Them 2D pants. Find
Yeah.
these 2D pants. All right, that game. That's okay. So good. All right, Marcus. Hopefully we find your killer because that was interesting. that was pretty interesting. So,
you know what else is interesting?
What's that?
The winner
Yes.
of the Nintendo Switch Lite. Is it time?
I think it's time. I think it's time. Okay, so do we have it up on the screen? Let's see.
Right. We're waiting for PG. We're praying to PG.
Playing
The
to the PG
production
guys.
gods will deliver us a winner.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So I guess I would have to do it then. Let's see.
Yep. He
All
says
right,
you got
let's
it.
go. Let's go. Give me a quick second. Let's get this. Let's get
Did I
this.
say
up
he?
and
I meant
running.
they said, because the PG is they are an entity that is gender fluid. We don't know what they are.
We do not know.
They may not even be human.
They may not be. So let's get this up and popping right now. Everybody that is watching, thank y'all for watching. Of course, y'all gonna enjoy this. Y'all better enjoy this. The winner. I see the winners was like in the. I think one of the people that was a part of it was in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I know we haven't done this, but shout out to everybody who's been commenting, chatting, like sitting back and talking with us and letting us know. But as y'all can see, the amazing Will.
Who was
I
that?
wish you had some music
with that big old spot like that. Somebody cheated.
No. There's some big spots because of entries. Their entries is why their spots are so big. So everybody who has entered, y'all can see for y'all entries, y'all have. But that don't mean that somebody on a little tiny dot cannot win. That does not mean that at all. But listen, this has been a fun process, with getting everybody. Thank everybody for signing up, of course, and getting those entries in. Everybody who's been following the link trees, as you can see, we're very serious about what we do and what we say here. Thank you to Metro for being a part of this with us. Thanks to ourselves, Greg, of course, Nick. We have Otis, producer guy who sits so far in the back that you cannot see him.
We don't know if that's a producer
we don't know
guy.
that.
It's the
Yeah,
PG.
I don't know who he is.
It's
He's
the
just a
production
PG.
gods.
Yeah. So with that being said, let's get to spinning this wheel. So good luck to the winner. You can see yourself on here. Good luck to you. So here goes the wheel getting spent. Yeah.
It's gonna be Keisha Lee. She got the whole thing.
Keisha Lee. Nice.
But
so as y'all can see, Miss Shan Royster.
Yeah, there we go.
Funny part about this is Miss Shan is one of my friends.
Oh
I've
man,
been knowing her over 20 years, so it looks weird right now. I'm like, Keisha was very close to winning, but Miss Shan has won the contest, so we make sure that we have this for her to see. And of course, she's probably not watching the damn show, so the winner has been announced. It is Miss Shan Royster. Everyone, thank y'all for joining us with this and signing up and doing y'all thing. I am out of here with the Wheel of Destiny. The
Wheel of Destiny. Sonic Boom. You gotta have a Sonic Boom in the background.
Yes.
Really quick, did you ever see, like, some years ago, there was a petition submitted to change the American national anthem to that song, and it had enough like signs on change.org that the U.S. government actually had to look at the petition. Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Shout out to the nerd community all across the country.
We big in here. It don't matter what you are, white, black, Indian, Mexican, Japanese, whatever, people of color. We here. The nerd community is here. It's very toxic over here, but we're here, we're definitely here. Right. So we know this is probably, I think this is our last show before. No, it won't be. Okay, but I thought this was the last show before March was over, but Women's History Month, we're still here. We're still in Women's International History Month. So
right, because they got a
International
lot of
Women's
February.
Yeah, they did, and I love it. Because we
love
women. Y'all are the ones who bring us into this world. So, with that being said, shout out to the women that is working on our team, the ladies of Blurter Proof Gaming. Shout out to y'all. Shouts out to Sadiqa at Metro. Shouts out to your wife. Shouts out to all the people that is in here. Everybody that's a part of the team. But shouts out to all the beautiful women in the world that continue to make this thing run. All the women that continue to produce games that, are transcendent and making things happen in his game world and his nerd culture and keeping everybody happy. You obviously can see, like I said, when it comes to certain games, there's a woman touch to it all. So, oh my gosh, I'm not looking at production right now. They just said something funny.
So someone has hacked the realm of PG because Tuxedo Mask. You know, Tuxedo Mask had the worst disguise. So like his disguise was worse than Superman's. Like Superman would take off his glasses.
That's crazy.
My guy Tuxedo Mask would go, I'm
look just like the same friend. I'm like, oh my god, who is Tuxedo Mask?
It's like, yo, Jeff, stop playing. We know that's you, bro.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie, that's probably the funniest statement I've heard in a long time. He said Tuxedo Mask is worse than Superman. That's bad. Because Superman just get that Michael Jackson curl right in the front, and it's like, oh my god, he looks different. Like, what did was his eyes about this damn big in his glasses?
Yeah.
Like, I'm confused.
I mean, it's like at least Superman changed his hair.
Right.
Like he changed his hair, but like Tuxedo Mask, all he did was literally put on a pair of glasses. It wasn't even a full-on mask. It's like I could wear a suit and then like I'm Tuxedo Mask. I already got on glasses.
Listen,
get out of here.
Yeah.
Whoever just took over the realm of PG, go away, okay?
Yep. So, like I said, shouts out to the winner of the contest, the Blurred Approved, powered by Metro, the B.A.G X Metro giveaway. Thank you for signing up, and thank everybody for signing up. Believe me, this ain't our last one. It will be much, much more. But with that being said, we're going to get ready to close out. Greg, where can they follow you?
You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, at Dabpad Gaming. I am on twitch.tv/Dabpad Gaming. You can find me. Just Google Dabpad Gaming. I am there. So come check me out.
Y'all better go check him out. He be playing them games, man. His whole setup, everything is good. That opening theme song had me dancing too. That Dabpad Gaming.
Oh yeah, I had a little groove going. You know, a little.
Listen, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like we were out here.
Listen, man. That's a good song right there. You know.
Yeah, shout out to LA Food.
Hey. So I'm Mike Hennessy. You can follow me on Twitch. I'm going to do it like he did it. You can follow me at twitch.tv/Mike Hennessy 23. I'm on there. // you know, it's one of them slashes. But anyway, just type the right slash and you'll find me. No, I'm just just follow me on Twitch, Mike Hennessy 23. I play games. I might be playing some Destiny tonight. You know, I feel like playing something. It's been a little while, so I'm going to jump on something tonight. I'm going to play some games, but make sure you follow us at Blurred Approved Gaming. Make sure y'all go to my link tree, my personal link tree. Follow all the things in there. Come to Blurred Approved Gaming's Twitch. Not Twitch. That's Twitch. But come to our Discord. Have some fun in our Discord. We're gonna have some good stuff going on there.
That's a weird way to say Elden Ring.
B.A.G. Yeah, this really is. Producer said Pokemon Unite. Hey, y'all want to come through for some Pokemon Unite? Hey, let us know. But whatever it may be. But we got some stuff going on. Make sure that y'all follow everything Metro Esports. Thank you for providing us with the show and following them on their Twitch, because that's where we're live on right now.
Yeah,
Twitch,
absolutely.
Twitch.
So with that, we are wrapping up. Just remember, guys, at the end of the day, never be in your feelings, but always stay in your bag.
I like that.
Competition going crazy. Mass controller, what you playing? Legal so you smashing. Metro Esports, yeah, we have it. Do you wanna learn for the best? Coaches who will put you to the test. Yeah, come down and sharpen your skills. Dropping Fortnite, Call of Duty, get kills. Yeah, NBA 2K, shoot your shot and make some plays. We got tournaments all day. Make some money, make it rain. Games is not all that we got. Learn you some coding and get yourself taught. Making new friends on the way to the top. Join the community, have you some fun. Metro Squad, repping the city of Philly with all that we got. Let's rock. Come down and join us and get yourself ready to drop. Join the community, have you some fun. Metro Squad, repping the city of Philly with all that we got. Let's rock. Come down and join us and get yourself ready to drop.